my name is Faride. I teach main course in Birmingham level. I hope you're doing all fine and you're staying healthy today. I'm going to focus on used to and the differences between used to and simple past. So enjoy and sit comfortably and listen to me. Okay, let's start. Look, this is Jack. Jack in the past and Jack now. So what differences can you see in the picture? So in the past, he was rich, now he is poor. In the past, he used to smoke cigarette, but now he is poor and he doesn't have any money. And here you can say in the past he used to have a lot of money, but he is poor. He doesn't have any money now. And you can see in the past he didn't used to wear beard, but here you can see in the past now he's wearing beard. So you can see that about his clothes. He's wearing old clothes, but in the past he used to wear fashionable clothes. So you can see the differences, yes? So let's move on to the next part. Past and present. So while I was using those sentences, you noticed I used a structure, which is used to. Here in the present time, you can see he is poor, but you can say in the past, he used to be rich. So we can say he used to be rich, but he is poor now. Next, you can say he used to live in a big house, but now he sleeps on the street. And you can say he used to eat caviar, but now he only drinks water. That's really sad, huh? And then here you say he used to drive a Ferrari, but he eats food from dustbin. You know what is dustbin? It's garbage can or something. So as you can see, you can distinguish the differences between between present or past. Okay, let's move on to check the form of the sentences. Here you have affirmative sentences. So affirmative is the positive form of a sentence. What is positive form of a sentence? It means that it's not negative. That's clear. Here you have he used to live in a big house, but he doesn't live there anymore any longer. Look at the sentence used to. So we are talking about past. So we need D here in used to. And after used to, we have live. Live is an infinitive. So infinitive means that we don't add ed, we don't add ing, we don't change the form of the verb. Then we continue, we use the completion sentence, and then we want to show the contrast. So how do you show the contrast? You say we are actually differences, we can say the differences between past and present. So we have to use but he doesn't live there anymore, any longer. So you can see anymore, any longer here. We mostly use anymore, any longer in simple present format and also in negative sentences, in the simple present sentences. Okay, this is about affirmative sentences, and also affirmative sentence means positive sentences if you don't know the meaning of affirmative. Then we have negative sentence. So how do we make a negative sentence with used to? Here you have he didn't used to be poor, but he is now. He didn't, so we use didn't, used to. So do I use ed with used to? No, I drop d with used to, and then infinitive and the rest of the sentence. You see, I show the contrast here again with but and now. So differences between past and present. Another form that you can make a negative sentence is that you can use never. But as you can see in the sentence, he never used to sleep in the street. It means that he didn't used to sleep in the street. So the surface of the sentence is positive, but the meaning is negative. And also, when I use never, I don't drop the in the sentence. So be careful about that. Question form. So we can ask yes or no question form and WH question form. Here you have, did he used to drink water only? Did he used to drink water only? Again, here you can see I use did in the question and I drop the in the sentence. Okay? So I say, did he used to drink water only? So the answer can be yes, the answer can be no. So we have to give short answer. Here we say no, he didn't, or you can say yes, he did. So depends on the context. So where did he used to live? So WH question form, we need longer answer. Here, where did he used to live? He used to live in a big house. Okay? So he used to live in a big house. Again, in the answer is positive, so we use ed to live. So he used to live in a big house. So be careful with the form of the verb after used to. It's simple. Base form, infinitive. So they have the same meaning. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's move on to next part. Okay, on the timeline, you can see that this guy, this person, he used to play saxophone, but now he doesn't play it. So what does it mean exactly? It means that I or he or she had a habit in the past. We are talking about the habits in the past. Okay? When we want to talk about habits now, we say, I usually go outside to, for example, buy an ice cream, right? Or I always wake up at 6 a.m. But for past habits, what can we use? Here we use used to. So you are familiar with the form and everything now. Okay, I will give you 2 minutes to think about these actually answers of these 3 sentences. So you have to put always, the past simple, usually, and used to. So think about it for 2 minutes and then we work on it. Okay, I'm pretty sure that you have answered the question actually correctly and completely. So let's go over the answers. So for number one, we can use the simple past to talk about events that happened only once or twice in the past. So let's check an example. I went to the USA twice when I was a child. So you can see I used once. I told you we can use simple past about the things that we did in the past once or twice. So here you can see the word twice, so it's clear. So I went to the USA twice when I was a child. Next, we can use used to plus infinitive to talk about past habits. So, you know, I gave you a lot of examples. For example, we can say, I used to go to school and see my friends, but now I have to stay at home and talk to my friends on the phone or actually on different social medias, right? But here I have another example. He used to play football for the local team, but he's too old now. You can give a lot of examples. For example, I used to exercise a lot, but now I'm pretty lazy and I can't move my body. Or I can say I'm a couch potato. I used to be really active, but now I'm a couch potato, right? Okay, number three is we can use always and usually with the present and past simple to talk about present and past habits. So what example we can give is children usually enjoy visiting the zoo, right? My father always watch news at home or at night. Or you can say my mother often cook delicious food. You can give a lot of example, all right? We often had a lot of problems when we actually traveled abroad. These are the examples. You can give different example in the past or present, so it's not very difficult to grasp. Okay, let's recap in case you missed it. Some recap means that you go over the stuff again. Past habits. So for past habits, we use the simple past, the past simple or used to or didn't, used to plus infinitive. So when you are talking about past habits, you can use both past simple and used to or didn't used to plus infinitive. So let's go over some example. We used to go to France for our holidays when I was a child, okay? Or he didn't used to do any exercise as a child, but now he runs marathons. So it can be example of used to. Used to and didn't used to plus infinitive. So I told you, we use used to talk about past habits. And also here we can see that when we want to talk about something that was true before, but they are not true now, okay? So for example, you can see, as I told you, we use used to for things that were true over a period of time in the past. Used to often refers to something which is not true now. We used to be friends, but we don't talk to each other anymore. So we can see the contrast here. We used to be friends, but we don't talk to each other anymore. So something was true before, but now is not, okay? And also you have anymore, any longer. As I explained it already, or before, we use anymore and any longer, that means not now, to talk about the contrast between the present simple and used to, or in simpler words, we can say we want to show the contrast between past and present. So you can use any more, any longer. Okay? For example, you can say, I used to smoke, but I don't anymore or any longer. I used to smoke, but I don't smoke anymore or any longer. Doesn't matter. They don't have any differences anymore, any longer. They have the same meaning. Okay, let's move on to the next point. Past habits. Past simple versus used to. So I told you they have minor difference. There is minor difference between actually simple past and used to. Here you have, I live in the city center until I got married. I used to live in the city center until I got married. So as you can see, we can use simple past and used to talk about a habit in the past. So you can see there's not much a difference here. But for the next part, say, we often went to France on holiday when I was little. We used to go to France on holiday when I was little. As it is said in the actually instruction or in the actually tip, here you should have adverb of frequency in the actually past simple to show the actually habit, to show that something has been done or had actually did habitually in the past. Okay, so you better use, it is actually recommended to use adverb of frequency in the past simple form. Okay. Here you have. Here we are talking about the verb after used to. I told you the verb should be infinitive, or it should be in the base form or its main form. It's actually talking about whether the verb is action verb or state verb. You know, we have action verb and state verb. Here it tells you that after used to, you can use both. You don't need to actually distinguish or make any difference or use them, for example, a spatial form. I used to be a good guitar player, but I can't play note anymore. I didn't used to like motorbikes, but I run a motorbike shop now. So you can see be and like. They are a state verb, and they are be is a state verb, okay, and like is a state verb here. Past habits, past simple versus used to. If the action happened only once, or we mention the exact dates or numbers, we have to use past simple. I went to Paris last year. So as it's actually has been said, when you are using simple past and you have dates and numbers, you shouldn't use used to, or the number of time that the action happened in the past, you shouldn't use used to. For example, if it happens once, it happened twice, 3 times, or you have exact dates or numbers, so you must not use used to. I went to Paris last year. Say, I used to go to Paris last year. So we have last year as time expression here, right? So when you say last year, it means that it happened just once or twice, okay? Just once, we say last year. So you shouldn't use used to. It's not a habitual activity in the past. Jack caught the train to Paris 4 times last week. As you can see, here is the number of times the action happened, 4 times last week. So Jack caught the train to Paris 4 times last week. So it is actually only with past simple, because you have numbers, you have the exact number of time that the action happened in the past. So we can't use Jack used to catch the train to Paris 4 times last week. Okay, now it's the time for a short quiz. Here you have 6 sentences. There are mistakes in the sentences, but just 4 of them. 4 of the sentences have problems. So I want to find the mistake and correct the mistake. I give you about 3 or 4 minutes. Just think about the problems here. Okay, I think that you found the mistakes correctly, and you correct the mistakes actually in the sentences that we're gonna go over them, and I will tell you what are the problems in each sentence. Ready? Okay, let's move on. So for number 1, when I was a child, I used to cycle to school yesterday. So it's clear, yesterday happened once, okay? So this yesterday is a wrong word here in the sentence. So you have to cross it out. Number 2, my brother always used to listen to heavy metal music. Always. So we have used to. We can show actually repetition of the action or habit of action in the past. So we don't need to use always. So number 3 is correct. My family used to live in a different city. Number 4 is correct. I used to stay up all night dancing. Now I get tired at 10 p.m. And number 5, we didn't used to have any pets. So I told you, when we have negative sentence and we have didn't in the sentence, we drop D in the verb used to. So we didn't used to have any pets, so we say we didn't used to have any pets. So we drop the D. We used to go skiing in the holidays last year. Okay, again, we have last year. It happened just once. So you have to cross last year from the sentence. Okay, that's all about it. But the last point I like to mention is about still. So here it says that we can use the adverb still to talk about the past habit or a state that has not changed. I still love board games. I frequently play backgammon. Okay, backgammon is a board game. So I still love board games. I frequently play backgammon. Okay, that's it. That's for today, guys. If you want more information about simple past, or you can simple past or used to, you can visit this website. I can share this presentation on the stick and in your group, so you can go and visit this website and study more about used to and simple past. So it's time to say goodbye, and I really enjoyed teaching you. I hope that you enjoyed it as well. So stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much, and goodbye.